I maintained the exact same weight for 16, nearly 17 years now. From probably about 15, 16 years old, I kind of filled out into my, I would say, very similar build to what I am at the moment. And I would say plus or minus probably 4 to 5% of total body weight. I've fluctuated over those years. I would say I've maintained pretty close within that range, which is about anywhere from 73.5 to about 76 kilograms is about where I've sort of held. I've gone up, when we were in Japan, I went up a little bit. I'd say I got to maybe 77, 78, but it's just because I wasn't doing as much cardio and you just hold a little bit more weight. But I would say my consistent weight has been about 74 to 75 kilos for a really decent part of the last decade and a bit. And I would say the key to that is just 1, consistency, and 2, consistency of intake of protein amount. And I know it sounds like it's too simple to be true, but I can honestly say that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it is. And I continue to maintain that exactly the same. I aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So 75 kilos is around the, 160 pounds or so, 165 pounds, I think it is. So I reckon consistently, if I hit that close to that number, 150 grams of protein per day, every single day, day on day for decades, because I've got such a high calorie burn each day, especially with the amount of training that I've always done over the years, in particular cardio, obviously, a lot of running, it just burns so many calories per day. But I've maintained the weight and my body mass and my body composition for that period of time simply because of those 2 principles. Consistency of training and nutrition, and consistency of eating sufficient protein to maintain your lean muscle mass. It's actually not as complicated as I thought, and even talking through it now, it's quite interesting to kind of think about, because we get all caught up in so many different concepts with our training, and you've got to do this and you've got to eat that, but it doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter what you eat. If you eat 3,000 calories a day and your maintenance calories to keep the lights on is 3,000 calories a day, and you hit your protein every day based on your muscle, based on your body weight and your body mass, you will stay consistently the same. You will stay the same body composition. You will stay the same lean body mass. Yes, as these numbers, fluctuate, they go up and down, and, they change all the time depending on what's going on, what you're eating, what your intake is, all different types of things. But if you consistently do those main 2 things over and over again for years on end, you will stay, in good, I would consider, good shape. And you don't have to complicate it. They're the things that most of these, most of the health and fitness industry don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that it's actually quite simple. Super, super simple. So don't overcomplicate it. Consistency of eating protein at every meal, don't get caught up in, muscle protein synthesis, eating more than 30 grams of protein per meal, your body won't digest it. Yeah, it's all, you can never it doesn't matter, as long as you overall, you can space that out over 7 meals and split up the 150 grams across 7 meals, or you can split it up into 2 meals, which I've done consistently now for many, many years. I used to, when I was younger, in my 20s, I always used to split it up into a decent breakfast, kind of like a mid-morning snack, then I'd have an afternoon meal, and then I'd have a decent dinner. But now what's really worked for me for I would say a good part of 4 to 5 years now is really just eating those 2 meals per day. Like, I like to fast in the morning. I've consistently always just had black coffees in the morning and then I normally break my fast around 11, 12 o'clock. Have most of the time it looks like, my 6 to 8 eggs or so, and then a bit of fruit, honey, and some Greek yogurt. That works perfect for me. And then if I have any sessions, later in the day, that works really well for me. And then I normally have a big dinner, which is like a big staple of, lean protein or lean meat. And, that could be a mixture of chicken or pork or beef. Who knows what it just depends on the circumstances. And then I just have like nice clean veggies and nice sort of, if I need to, heavier starchy carbohydrates. And I'm a shocker as well. Like, I've obviously got a sweet tooth and I like to eat things after dinner, but consistently I've always hit the protein, and I've consistently trained for many years. I'm so intuitive now, and people just I think people get caught up in oh, he's just lucky, he's genetically gifted, or all these people like, oh, they have a fast metabolism and all those sorts of things. It's like, no, I'm super intuitive now of my meal intakes, because I've been doing it for so many years on years. I can look at a meal really accurately ever since I was younger, and I can just look at it and go, yep, that's got at least 50 grams of protein, and I can pretty well accurately estimate what sort of number of calories are also in that meal. So I can quickly tell you, I try to avoid like those heavy carbohydrates when I'm trying to get the protein, because the priority is always the protein. Always prioritize the protein. Lean protein. Perfect example is, like I was saying, my lunch is the eggs, 8 eggs. That's 8 times roughly 6 grams per egg of protein. Gets me 48, nearly 50 grams, if you round it up, 50 grams of protein, just in the eggs on their own. No, don't eat any like breads or anything like that. And then super easy, then I just smash a couple of bananas and an apple and mix that with some honey, nice healthy carbohydrates, bang, boom, awesome, super simple. And the same with dinner. Always prioritize a lean piece of meat, whatever the case may be. It could be chicken, beef, pork. It could even incorporate eggs as well. Just aim to prioritize your protein consistently every single day. Aim for that 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And look at your maintenance calories over time and be consistent with your training. It's so simple, and I wish someone yelled that down my throat, when I was even 12 years old or 13 years old. But I just had to learn it myself, and I've learned it over the years. It's just worked. They're the basic principles of, maintaining body weight. And it works for every single human being. It doesn't matter. It's a universal. It's just completely universal. And the sooner people kind of, understand and digest that factor, the better off they will be. And it takes, you just got to accept that it takes time, right? It just takes time. So just be patient, rip in, and enjoy the process.